What is going on, guys? It is time for another Chef United watch along. I'm your host with the mostest, joining you oddly on a Wednesday early morning over here in the United States. I do have some time off from work, so I decided why not? Chef United are playing a team that I've never heard of, Girona. And we're going to do a little bit of another game and continue to build into next season. Premier Blades continuing to build, getting more minutes into their legs. Yes, we had a defeat yesterday, 1-0 to Rotherham. I don't read too much into that. I don't read too much into results. I don't read in too much into players. They are only 6 games back into the season, and it's still preseason. You don't draw any conclusions from preseason games. I will say we do have a special guest that is going to join us, and I'm going to bring him in here in a second. He reached out to me this morning when they posted, Chef United posted a watch along on social media. He is, oddly enough, a season ticket holder from both teams, which blew my mind when I read it and he sent me a direct message. So I'll just bring him in right now. Darren Smith, welcome to the program. Darren, how are you this, I guess it's afternoon where you are. It's morning here. How are you doing this afternoon?
I'm fine. We're 1 hour ahead of England and several hours ahead of you in the States. So if I was getting up at your time, I wouldn't be here, to be honest. But
yeah,
and after it's fine.
Trust me, a lot of people say that. It is certainly early over here, but so you might as well tell the people that are in the chat. Give us a little background story on how you became a Girona, if I pronounced that right, and you've always been a Chef United season ticket holder. Tell all the folks in the chat, give them a little insight.
I'm carrying both fans. I've got the Blade shirt and the Girona scarf. And funny enough, Girona actually put my name on a scarf, but that's something Sheffield United have not done, despite following them for 50 odd years. So I moved to Girona about 14, 15 years ago. And when I first came here, I lived here but worked in England. So I've commuted for several years, which sounds a bit strange, but it's actually relatively easy. Girona is actually a Catalan city. Its first language is Catalan rather than Spanish. So it is slightly different to most places in Spain. So in the northeast of Spain, it takes about 2 hours to fly here from England. It's a club that's literally lived in the shadow of Barcelona. When I moved here, most fans here were Barcelona fans. And Girona were a small team that literally got just over 1,000 people, and the ground reflected that. And I was still able to watch United when I was going backwards and forwards with work, but I've always liked local football, and this was my doorstep team, really. So I just tootled along down there. I sort of stuck out like a sore thumb because I was the only native English speaker that supported this very small team that even the locals didn't really know anything about. And it came from there, really. I became a member, I became a season ticket holder. A lot of the games in Spain go between Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So I was still able to watch United and Girona. So yeah, I've ended up being a season ticket for both. And then in recent years, Girona have really kicked on. They attracted interest from Man City, which we could talk about, but it was from there that I then again became a bit of the only native speaker, even though the crowd started to come in. So the team's grown, now gets more than sort of over 10,000 season ticket holders. They're not established in La Liga, but they're bouncing between the second division and La Liga now in recent years, that helped by the financial benefits that the City Group have given. So I now, since COVID, I've been more based here, but now I just purely fly back for the games in England. But obviously I'm still able to watch quite a lot of football here.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty impressive. I am very envious of the position you are in. Um, so our home side, if you want to call it that today, as we alluded, this behind closed doors match is going on at Manchester City's Academy Stadium. A little insight of ongoings, you know, in the past, I don't know. I guess you can sum up their summer. Any big signings? They do have some big names that I've noticed in their signs, the like of Paulo Gazzaniga, Daley Blind. I mean, players that have played in England before. Sum us up what their summer's been like.
Uh, their summer's actually been very difficult so far. So what happened in when they got promoted last season? They were promoted through the playoffs. And the playoffs go deep into June. So a lot of the transfers that they made last season were actually temporary loan deals. There's less restrictions than there are on, say, United coming into the Premier League. So a lot of the loans actually left at the end of the season, and Girona were hot favourites for relegation last season, having come through the playoffs, and actually ended up having a chance of qualifying for Europe right up to the last game of the season, which caught everybody surprised, probably caught Girona by surprise. So a lot of their names have actually stood out and have been picked off by other clubs. So unfortunately, so far the summer's been about outgoings. Their leading scorer, Tati, has just gone to Lazio for 15 million euros. Oriol Romeo, who was really strong in midfield, the ex-Southampton midfielder, has been picked up by Barcelona for about 6.5 million euros. So they're massive holes in the team compared to last season. They have got some of their loan players back. They've got 3 or 4 back. But it is a period of transition. They're in a position really where they need to use this next 2 or 3 weeks of the window to replace that central midfielder and that striker, and really haven't really brought any new players in. The players that people in England might know is there's a chap called Alex Garcia who was on Manchester City's books. He's a really silky midfielder. The one that really fans should look out for is there's a Ukrainian guy they got in January called Viktor Sagankov, and hopefully he's not playing for your sake. But he's a he's a very strong right winger. He's already probably upped his resale value by 3 or 4 fold. But then Girona generally have quite a strong defence, and what United will struggle with is getting the ball off them. Even when they play some of the top sides, they have the majority of possession, and sometimes they overplay and play for the sake of it, but they generally have a really good possession stats.
Certainly sounds like it's a tough task, and I am scrolling across the bottom the Girona starting lineup and substitutes. Sounds like it's going to be a tough game come United's way, and I don't know. After I'm going to put the Blades side up, and we can start to talk about United and your thoughts. On the summer as a whole, and B, how our preseason has gone. What are your thoughts about the Blades and how they've got on this summer and since they've started preseason?
Well, I mean, based on last summer, I think the trip that they did in Portugal last summer worked really well. I think it sort of it bonded the team, and it got them in a position where they knew what the style of play was going to be and how they were going to go about it. So I'm hoping that just having that trip rather than the particular friendly will have the same impact this season. I think it's a bit of a shame that Benny Traore struggled to get into the squad because of the visa issues. I think it's always better with the overseas players to get them in and involved and used to their teammates. So that's a bit of a shame. It's always difficult when you've not got the biggest budget to get your players in early. So I'm not surprised that we've not got all our players in that will start the season. But I think getting 3 in so far is not a bad return. I'm not bothered about the pre-season friendlies in a sense in terms of results. I think we showed it last night. We played a back 4 last night, which we're not going to play a back 4. It wasn't about player formations or getting used to that. It was just about getting minutes in legs, really. You could tell, and obviously we're splitting the first team between last night and this morning. So again, it's not about trying to get people used to playing with one another. It's just part of fitness and conditioning, I think.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. It's just about getting minutes, and unfortunately, you can only have 11 players on the field in one game, and we can't. I mean, as much as we rotated, I mean, we had a pretty youthful side in come the end of last night's game. Okay, I'm going to ask you this: Transfer Saga 2023, Skillman. Yes, no. Is he going? Is he staying? Is he here? Is he there? He's in the side yesterday. He's played in a majority of our preseason games. Obviously, he's not in the team today because he played last night, and it'd be just asinine to have him play back to back in less than 24 hours. Your thoughts on any insight on whether Skillman and I will wear the Mighty Blades badge come the first game of the season against Crystal Palace?
To be honest, there's been a lot of noise, hasn't there? And I think a lot of this is because Olympique Marseille are a big club, and it's hard to keep news within that club. It's almost like the sort of noise that you get around the Barcelonas and Real Madrids of this world. So it's almost like we've been given a running commentary from their point of view as to what's actually happening. I think if it had been any other club, I don't think would have had this. I actually said at the end of last season that I didn't expect Skillman to sign a new contract with Sheffield United. He's already been happy to play on his low wage that he signed a couple of years ago. If he plays for United this season in the profile of the Premier League and is as good as we all expect, why would he sign away the signing on fee to us as a transfer fee? So the fact that he might or might not sign a contract, to me, doesn't mean he won't be playing with us, just in the same way I didn't expect him to in June. I think our hopes were raised because there was a lot of talk that he might sign a new contract and we would put release clauses in it and things like that, which I know we have put a fantastic contract to him, and I know we've put lots of release clauses in there, and I know we've put some in there specific to Olympique Marseille because they're his club. But fundamentally, if I was his representative, I'd be telling him not to sign for Sheffield United because he's in a year's time, he's got the choice of any club he wants and a big signing on fee. So I don't think fans should get too upset if he doesn't. Equally, if I was his rep, I'd be saying don't follow your heart, don't follow your team and sign for Olympique Marseille. You can choose to sign for them next summer if you really want to, but there are other bigger clubs that are likely to want you in next summer, who will both pay you more and give you the profile of, say, the Premier League or Serie A or La Liga. So I don't think that's certain either, to be honest. I think he's in a position at the moment where he's happy playing, and if he doesn't get a move, I don't think he's too upset. I think the ball's in our court, really. Do we lose out on potentially a bid from Marseille of 15-20 million this summer, or do we just say, right, we'll hope he keeps us up and let him go for free next summer? I actually think the ball's with us, really, rather than Olympique Marseille or Illy in some ways.
No, you make a good point there. I mean, I said this leading up to us starting recording. It's a shame that the game is turned into all about money, and it would be almost in our best interest to just let him go now for what the rumored fee is, 15, 20 million pounds, make the money, and then we're not saying, oh, ho-hum next year when he leaves, and if he does go to Marseille on a free, we don't make any money. So if this is a business at the end of the day, we've got to get money in cash influx in this side. And if we let up one of probably our biggest transfer fee ever go out the door, if he has an absolute barnstorming season in the Prem, we could talk anywhere up to, would you say I'm crazy if it was 30 million, 35 million, if he pots 12 goals and has 10 assists? I mean, this could be a huge transfer fee we could be looking at.
I think the trouble you've got is I don't think there's a right answer here. And I actually put a poll on Twitter yesterday. I think it ended up being about 70-30 that people said we should keep him and let him go free next summer. But it's not their money, I suppose, in a lot of ways. It's the worst case scenario here. Let's not beat about the bushes. We're going to be favourites for relegation, even with Illy in the team. Mm-hmm. If we get relegated next summer and Illy leaves, and we've also got Sandra in the similar boat leaving for free, we've not really banked anything from our Premier League season.
Nope.
But equally, we could let Illy go today, and we might miss out on staying up at the end of this season by 4 points, 5 points, and you could sit there and go, if we'd have kept Illy, we'd have probably stayed up, and that's worth 60, 70 million pounds to us. So it's a bit, really, the Prince is in the situation he's been in for the last 3-4 windows. Does he gamble that we get the success at the end of the season and not sell these players, or does he bank some money and sort of and plays the odds? Really, I wouldn't like to be in his shoes if I'm absolutely honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, it is not an envious position to be in. The Prince's shoes, and that not to mention on the back of trying to sell the club, he's battling that. He's almost battling a two-front war. What does he do with the players? Then you have supporters saying, "Oh, we don't have enough money. Where's our transfer funds at? The Indai saga." And then he's like, I'm trying to work on that. And then on the other front, I'm trying to sell the club to a rightful buyer that's not going to just drive us into the likes of, bigger clubs that have tumbled down the leagues, even like Derby, the likes of Wednesday, where they've tumbled down into League One. He's like, he's getting pulled in so many different directions. I don't know. No wonder he doesn't have any hair. I mean, because he's pulled it all out. I mean, it's just like it is not an envious position. And I'm a talking head. I'll get behind a mic and say all this and blah 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 blah. But at the end of the day, I have respect for what he's doing because I don't know how I'd handle it. I surely wouldn't have any hair.
Yeah, to be fair, he didn't have any hair before he bought into Sheffield United.
True, very true.
You can't blame that on us. But yeah, I mean, I had a really long chat with him at the FA Cup semi-final, and I'd be honest with you, there's been a bit of talk about whether he needs to lower his asking price and things like that for the club. Really, this is more about, if he lowers the asking price, really, we've got to worry as fans as to who's buying the club, if that's the difference, because we're not interested in what they buy the club for. We're interested in what they invest afterwards. And if they're struggling to meet the asking price, then they're struggling to invest in the club afterwards. He wants to get rid of this club because of the stress it has on him and his family, if I'm absolutely honest with you. And I think that will still be the overriding decision he makes on whether he agrees a deal. And you can see why the stress is there. Even you'd think it would be all blue clouds, wouldn't you? When it's when blue skies and no clouds, when you've just been promoted to the Premier League, and look what gets thrown at you. So there's no respite, is there?
No, God, no, there's not. And then you've got to get us ready for 38 games in the best league, or well, in some people's opinion, or everybody in America's opinion, the best league in the world. Obviously, the people in chat row that have listened to this before, I think the championship's the best league in the world, but that's just my unbiased opinion. Yeah, it is a tall task at United, and I'm not envious of anyone that takes over that top spot. Any more transfer rumors you can allude to? I know it's real hush hush, and we don't want to kind of blow it up here, but are United in for any more players? And if you can't name any players, how many players may we be interested in? Are we still looking to bolster our numbers? Because if I'm going to be honest, looking at this side, it's mostly intact from last season. Only the 3 players that didn't have their contracts extended or renewed or brought in. I feel like we're still a little bit light on numbers because I know at some point United are going to go through injury rash, and we're going to miss, Sanderberg's going to be out for 6 games. Illiman might miss a couple of games. McBurney he's already banged up. Are we looking to add numbers to the squad? Or are we looking to bring in players more so to have an influence in the team and maybe get into the starting 11?
Well, I think at the moment we're sat at around about 20, 21 and we want the squad to be 24, 25 of experienced players. Depends on whether you count your third keeper in that. So we've actually, there's been a long running saga of different targets for left centre back. So we definitely still want to bring in a left centre back. But I think that the fact that Reece Norrington-Davies has been out for so long, that even if he was anywhere near for the start of the season, which it doesn't look like he will be, we'd still be short in that area with only really Jack Robinson or moving Anel across. So we definitely want a left centre back. Then we've always said that the 2 domestic loans, we want to use them to really strengthen the first 11, like Tommy and James McAtee did. Now, unfortunately, we're restricted by this one loan from one club and only 2 in total. So the problem we have at the moment is that the players that really improve our side are already out on pre-season tours. They're typically wanted to be watched by their managers in Premier League teams. So they're not the best of the loans are not actually released yet. So I think we just have to wait for those and see who comes about, and we'll try and get 2 really strong loans. And I do think we'll strengthen the midfield with those loans. And then we do have offers out there for free agents and some opportunistic signings of a low fee or loan to buy, which are ones that we weren't necessarily looking for, but they're targets that we've had for 2 or 3 years, and if they become available in this next month, we have got the resources to make a little dart at them. But I think we're definitely looking at 3, and then like I say, if one of these opportunistic ones come about, or a free agent says, "Yeah, you're the team for me," we might end up with 1 or even 2 more.
Yeah, I mean, I like that. That sounds positive. I'm hoping we can get a few of them through the door. And I kind of knew that, with the season being the better part of 2 weeks away, once these preseason tours start wrapping up and the teams start heading back to England, that's when I think the loan market for us will gain more traction, because at that point the teams are going to have to look, okay, we have a fat squad, we need to trim the sides off a little bit. Boom, we'll start looking into different avenues to offload these players. And hopefully the rumors have been swirling. From being on Twitter, everybody wants Tommy Doyle or James McAtee. That seems to be the that seems to be the 2 players that we're all keen on based on what they did for us last season. I have a question for you. If it came down to those 2 players, McAtee and Doyle, which one would you go with?
I see. Personally, I would choose James McAtee to come back on if it's purely a loan.
Mm-hmm.
I think in the Premier League, actually creating and scoring goals is the issue. Our defence was chaotic in that second season of the Premier League, but we had a very strong defence in the first season. I think we are quite solid in defence. Like I say, if we could find a decent left centre back, or at least somebody until Reece Norrington-Davies came back, I think we will defend okay. There'll be some games where we get absolutely hammered because some of the top 5 or 6 just have those sort of days. I think our problem is going to be creating and scoring goals. Mm-hmm. So I'm not necessarily saying McAtee's better than Tommy Doyle, but I just think that it's a position that we will struggle to find somebody else as good, really.
Yeah. No, I mean, you're exactly right. I echo your sentiments 100%. The biggest thing that United's going to run into, and it's with every team that gets promoted to the Prem from the Championship. It's like I sound like, Captain Obvious. Any team that's in a relegation battle, they never can score goals. And that's our biggest thing. And it's like, okay, we have Ollie McBurney. We know he's injury prone, but he might have a fair few games where he goes uninjured. Rhiannon Brewster, he's not many people know he seems to be. You touch him and he's out for 6 months to a year. Benet Traore, coming off of a broken leg, we don't know really what we've got with him. Then you got the two young boys of Sewell and Jebison. Really unproven at. I mean, obviously Jebo has the one goal against Everton in the Prem, but we were miles gone at that point. Jebison and O'Sewell, those two players probably look like they need to go out on loan. So you have those three strikers. I would, in my if I was, in charge of running recruiting, I'd look to get us another proven striker in this league. And I do like that McAtee, that point you made on McAtee, creativity. Nobody was more creative in midfield except for Skillman than James McAtee last year. I mean, look at how many goals he created. I mean, we could do very well with him in this United side, and I think it would bolster us in maybe make us a little bit less bang on relegation if we had him in our side. I think it would almost put my mind at a little bit of ease if we put him in the midfield with Illiman. But the thing again is we all witnessed his first game at Luton last year where he was passing the ball to a signboard. He couldn't pass his way out of a paper bag. And then he grew into the season. So it might be if we were to bring him in, and we're just speculating, if we were to bring him in, the first couple of games, he might pass it to his mate 7 rows in the Cop. I mean, we might go through the struggles in this division again, but come the end of the season, he might save our tail and we might stay up. I don't know. This is pure speculation. I loved him last year. I'd love to see him back.
Yeah, I mean, what we've got to be careful about is that it's a step up for all the players, isn't it? Really, I mean, all the forward players, they need to step up their game. I think one thing I would say about Traore is he's actually been, which I know is not the ability of the Premier League, but he will come into the team really match ready, match fit. And going back to Girona, this is where Tati did so well for Girona. He actually didn't get a pre-season. He went from playing in New York in halfway through the MLS season and coming straight into La Liga. So
yeah, your stream was cutting out a little bit. I couldn't. You kind of pieced it together.
Yeah, can you hear me now? Okay.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, you're good. You were making a couple of points there at the end.
Yeah, no, I was going to say is Traore. I know he's only been playing in the Swedish league, but their league has been ongoing until we did this transfer. So he comes into this season very match fit, and that's what happened with Tati at Girona last season. He came from the MLS with New York. He was scoring every week. It was a big step up to La Liga, but he was fitter and more sharper than the rest of the La Liga players early doors. So I'm hoping he hits the ground running.
Okay, before you leave us, but Darren will be back, so stay tuned all the way through. I'll bring him in for halftime analysis, as only you get from the Chef United way. Halftime analysis, full-time analysis. Darren, what are we looking for in this game? What? I mean, I don't care what the result is. You don't care what the result is. Is it just more minutes? Are we looking for something tactical in United? What? Give us a little bit of insight into what we can expect.
I think a bit like last night. I think we're going to see a sort of almost like a 75-minute game. I think our first teamers will probably play until 75 minutes, and then the last 15 minutes will just be a sort of check out the young kids. I think Girona might do it slightly differently and play a 45 minutes. I think I'm just looking for some sort of. I think we've got two young lads up front, and they're not obviously going to be our Premier League strike force. I think I'd like to just see the likes of Slimani and Berger actually start to form partnerships and patterns, and see where they're really going to play, if they're going to play together or instead of one another, I suppose. And then really just looking for the likes of Anel to just show that he's fit and firing and ready to go, aren't you? I suppose. Like I say, I'm not really looking for too much in terms of result. I just you just want them to play with a bit of freedom and stay fit, I suspect.
Yeah. Well, Darren, we will see you at halftime. Thanks for coming on pre-match as we're kicking the ball around now. I guess we're getting ready to start this thing. I don't know. This looks like the most unorganized thing ever been a part of. But I will give first half commentary, and Darren will be back at halftime. So see you in about 48 minutes.
See you later.
Cheers. All right, guys. Well, you know what time it is. The Red and White Wizards are back. Going to start the first half as a nicely shaven hair of Johnny Squarehead Egan as we just did the coin flip. Kickoff should be coming up shortly. You want to say hello to everybody in chat row. I think we're going to get this thing underway. I really can't. It's a really odd camera angle, low lining. We're not very high above the pitch. It's almost like we're 8 feet tall and the players are normally, their normal height. But I think Girona is going to get us underway. They're going to kick from left to right, it looks like. Blades in that, I don't know what we call it, third kit. In chat row, can you guys please leave your thoughts on the third kit? I want to know what you guys think about it. Yay, nay, it's okay. I don't really know as we are underway as Girona kicks it from left to right, working it down the right-hand side. I'm not using names of players because all the names have switched and they don't have any of their names on the back of their shirts as the ball is at the back for Girona. They're just kind of kicking around. High press from United to start this one. Nice closing down and man marking. That's all we can ask for. Girona break the press and play advantage. There was a foul. I don't know if the ref's going to bring it back. He's not. United now in control of the ball, and they are mucking around at the back. The big boys at the back, Johnny Squarehead Egan. And he is passing it around at the back. United just kind of holding the ball. Little pump fake. They're working it down the left-hand side. Max Lowe, I think Asula is adjudged to be offsides. Guys, remember, I forgot to do this in the build-up. Like this stream. If you haven't done so, subscribe to this YouTube channel. I saw Johnny the Great in the chat. Hey, Johnny, comment. We know that Burnley's going to win the Prem this year. Please tell us your honest thoughts. Just kidding. I saw Scott. Welcome, everybody in chat row. I'm Chad from the Red Half of Sheffield. If you haven't listened to my podcast, give it a listen, a like, subscribe, like me on Instagram, Twitter, cjarvis_13. Back to the match. Girona on the ball at the back, working the ball to the far hand side, and I can't even make out their players over there. Now they're going to work it up the right hand side. It goes. Just kind of playing in their own half. We've got them pinned in. United win the ball. Top of the box. Sandy Barge on the ball, but he loses out. And here comes Girona away with the ball. Up to nobody. United should be able to clear this, but number 31 from Girona is able to win it and keep it in play. There's no free kick, but United come away with the ball. I will ask Darren at halftime when he knows if and when this kit sponsor, but I think it has to be announced by the end of the July, I think. United very aggressively have the ball in Girona's area. They're flirting around with the 18-yard box. And Girona's going to alleviate a little bit of the pressure, getting it back to Paulo Gazzaniga in goal. And they will work it down the left. Now, looks like they're going to switch the play over to the right-hand side. Little touch and go at the back here from Girona. United pressing the ball very, very high and very tough, not letting them get very much breathing room. And it certainly looks like it's affecting Girona a little bit, because they are, having a hard time handling the press. United win the ball again. Soleimani on the ball, looks, and he's back to the big Bosnian in the back, and the big Bosnian, and it looks like Sandy Barge get mixed up and give the ball away. And here comes Girona down the left-hand side. They're going to work it in the box, and it's going to be a coming together, shoulder-to-shoulder. Ref ways no pen, as the foul occurred in the box, and it's going to be a corner, the first of the game, to Girona on the far-hand side. Yeah, I mean, I would agree with you, Philippe. The third kit normally comes after the second, but I guess we're changing it up. Guys, put it in the comments. What do you think of our third kit, which I thought was going to be the away kit, but it turns out it was the third kit? I think it's okay. Looks okay is what I'll say. That's my thought. As Sandy Barge and Adam Davies collide for the ball, it's out for a goal kick. And Adam Davies is going to come and clear the ball. They definitely did not call for it. Sandy Barge is Sandy Berg. I call him Sandy Barge because he comes barging in for you that are new to the program. Blades have the ball at the back, working it around the back. John Egan on the ball over to the big Bosnian. Just kind of mucking around 5 minutes into this one. It's been a pretty even start. Nobody really out on top. And I don't expect anybody to really be dominant as Girona come down the left-hand side, but they're just to be offsides. So, yeah, 5.5 minutes now gone in Manchester. We're playing this behind closed doors at Manchester City's training ground stadium, which is interesting. It's a pretty nice pitch, nice setup. As United come down the right-hand side, Will Asula on the ball. Will Asula, he gets mixed up with Soleimani, and there's a free kick, and United get it going underway. Down the right-hand side, it goes in the box. Nothing of it, and a cross comes in, and it's over everybody. So it's out for a goal kick to Girona, and we will go again. Also, guys, put in the comments how excited you are for this upcoming season. United hoisting the Premier League trophy, or are we getting relegated? Put your honest thoughts in the chat as we build up ever closer to United's season opener at Bramall Lane against Crystal Palace. As Girona get us back underway down the left-hand side, they go. And it's going to go out for a free kick. Actually, no, I thought it was a free kick. Now it is a throw-in. I can tell that Daley Blind has the ball because you can see the giant bald spot on the top of his head. A little mess up at the back there for Girona, and they pass it around and work it down the right-hand side. Here they come up the right-hand side. United kind of set back and are absorbing pressure now. As Girona just kind of mucking around at the back. Let's see. So we got some super pumped for the season. Aussie Blade. Yep. Heart says staying up. Head says relegation. That's kind of where I am too. As United come up with the ball, and we work it back to Adam Davies. Now we work it down the right-hand side. the big blade Sanderberg is fouled. It looked like he went down like he was shot from the snipers, and we are back underway. But Sandy Barge is back underway. Ball is with John Egan, and he's going to lump it over the top. We have a runner down the right-hand side, but that's going out of play. Peter thinks we finished 12th. That's very optimistic. I hope we can catch lightning in a bottle like we did a few seasons ago. Finish 9th. I'd love it. Girona have the ball now and are just working around the back. They really haven't done much. A couple balls over the top trying to get their players on keep them on sides, but the balls unfortunately have run out or they've been called on offsides. So here they come down the left-hand side, working the ball in the midfield. Girona still on the ball. United kind of sitting back and really, honestly, absorbing the pressure. Yep. I would agree with Mr. Scott. Welcome to the chat. I didn't formally introduce you. Scott's in this every weekend that I do it. Yep. Creativity is going to be the biggest issue. Creativity and goals. Goals. Nope. Colleen, this is at Manchester City's training ground, so it's behind closed doors, so there isn't nobody here. Because as I can see where the camera is right now, it is panning, and you can see the other training pitches around Manchester City's training ground. As we're seeing the clash of shoulders from earlier. Johnny, I'm watching on SUTV. You should just be watching me. They did a streaming package this year. Welcome to Johnny the Great. He's, if anybody doesn't know who he is, Burnley's the greatest team under the sun. They're going to win the Prem. They're probably going to have like 160 points. They're going to score probably 500 goals and concede none. United, but frankly enough, this is a Sheffield United channel where Sheffield United are going to finish first with 150 points or whatever the max points is. We're going to score 1 million goals and not concede any. And you heard it here first. Put $50 on it, and you might win like $500 million. As United come down the left-hand side, ball was at the foot of Max Lowe. Now over Jimmy, Johnny, Billy, Bobby Fleck. Roy, I don't know if I have the volume obviously turned down. I don't know if there's any audio, but there was a little bit of sound when I put it on. As United come down the left-hand side, we're looking to work the ball in to the box. It's just out wide. Ball comes to Sandy Barge. Sander, is he going to have a go? Sander Barge had a go, and it is deflected in the box, and it falls to the foot of a Girona player. Girona comes down the left-hand side, being very patient in their build-up. Yeah, probably right, Johnny. We'll probably lose the first game to Crystal Palace 7-9, maybe 12-0. I don't know. Who knows? Have 5 or 6 red cards. And then, yeah, that'll be it. Then it'll be on. Girona have the ball. Kind of nothing really doing. I feel like this is a first 11 minutes of just feeling each other out. Not really much offering, honestly. It's at the foot of Girona's goalkeeper now. No, dumb idiot. I don't think we're going to get the lowest tally ever. I mean, we're going to win some games. We're going to draw some games. We're going to lose a bunch of games. Yeah, I mean, where we don't have strength and depth in the squad. I mean, that's the biggest thing. How do we react to when we have injured players? Do we just kind of curl up in a ball and just in the fetal position and cry and not do anything about it? Or do players step up and that was a bit risky from Sandy Barge back to Adam Davies? Or do we just kind of roll along with it? Somebody steps up and, we handle it like Premier League teams should, where, it's just a blip on the schedule. I mean, yeah, the whole thing is yeah, Zaha with Palace is gone. Rumor is if Eze didn't get injured, he would have been gone as well. Johnny thinks we have, I mean, it's between us. I think Luton's business model is just get promoted, then get relegated, and take the funds and further their club. Yeah, I mean, this is fair, David. Fulham as well. They just lost Mitrovic, so you're not really going to have that attacking force up front anymore. They just signed Raul Jimenez, I believe, yesterday for $5.5 million. But yeah, very good possibility that Fulham could be pegged back into this. You never know. They kind of had a United season where they went absolutely crazy. Now they did have a team that was built to finish that high up. They really haven't added too many players to that and strengthened their side, so they might get passed by. It's still too tough to tell about Soleimani. I mean, I don't know. I won't know until he plays a few games in the Prem this season for us to give us honest opinion. I can't draw anything from preseason friendlies, honestly. Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's a very real possibility. But the whole thing is everybody's so emotionally attached to Illman, and you guys aren't missing really much in this match. Girona's just passing the ball around. United are basically just soaking up the pressure. They're not even in United's half. They're just kind of on the halfway line. As I speak of that, they come into United's half and they try to work the ball through, but it is sought out by Ahmed Hadzic. But if we do, everybody's emotional attachment to Illman because what he's done, and we all want to see him play in a United shirt in the Prem. Yeah, I get that. But if this game is so controlled on money, if we can get money now for him and reinvested in the club and either buying somebody else or waiting till we go down next year, if we do go down, that's even more funds we have for next year to buy, championship players. Or if we stay up, it just adds to the funds, our funds of going into another Premier League season. So we shall see where we end up. Yeah, right now there is a free kick for an very, very pale Jimmy Johnny Billy Bobby Fleck. And United have a free kick. Did anyone happen to see Oliver Norwood's forehead last night from the, I guess, tackle kick? I don't know what it was, but he looked pretty busted up. So he'll probably, safe to say, he'll probably be done for the rest of the preseason until we start the Prem against Palace, because man, that is going to take some time to heal for sure. United have a free kick. Heads go up. Nothing comes of it. And United retain the ball. The ball's at the top of the box at the foot of Sandy Barge. We're now playing it back all the way to Adam Davies. I mean, he was Norwood was one of our most influential players last year in that midfield. A lot of people think he's written off. I mean, this is a step up in competition, and we saw how he did the last time we were in the Prem. Not so good. As it looks like John Fleck is going to come out of this one. I don't know if he has a leg contusion or he's hurt. But the Scot is heading over to the touchline. The training staff did come out, but they didn't assess any. It was like It was like he got kicked in the shin, which he did. I can't tell if he's bleeding or not. As I don't know if we're in a drinks break. The players are over by the touchline. I'm looking. It does look like it is a drinks break. I don't know if we're going to make a substitute, though, for John Fleck. He is unlacing his boots, so it looks like he will come off. It was like an innocuous little knock that he took. And I don't he's gesturing to the training staff. And I think United are going to have to play or obviously replace him. It's just a question of who is it. So I guess we're going to get this underway. Number assignments. I do not know the number assignments, so I can't speak to who came on. Let's see if I can see who the substitution. Nope, I cannot see who. Yeah, I cannot see who the can't see. It was John Smith, the most generic name out there. John Smith on for Jimmy Johnny Billy Bobby Fleck. The ball's at the foot of the keeper for Girona, and they're just kind of working it again. Now, United are doing a high press, and they cause Girona to give the ball away. Now, United have a throw in almost parallel to the 18-yard box. Man, that 4-2. Ooh, man, that's ballsy there. Especially in the preseason friendly, you can't even tell. I mean, we haven't scored in our last two. As the ball is worked down the right-hand side, Ahmed Hodzic goes on a hell of a run. And it is sought out, and United come back with the ballers at a free kick. Ref hasn't signaled anything. But it looks like it's a free kick. So, 20 minutes in, not really much. If I had to say, it is a boring match. I hope I'm livening up for you. 140 people watching this. You guys got to hammer the like button. You guys got to hammer the like button for me, please. God, we need to get this. I'm only showing 9 on my screen, so let's get that. Let's get it up to 20. Come on, I know you guys can do it. I mean, there's 145 people watching this stream right now. As United work it down, Max Lowe, ball in the box. Oh, he hit the crossbar. Max Lowe works the ball. The ball falls to him down the left-hand side. A great ball from the right-hand side falls right to him, unmarked, slams it against the crossbar. And United unlucky to not be ahead 1-0. As the United are working the ball down the left-hand side again. Ball's at the foot of Max Lowe. It's still with Max Lowe. He works the ball back, and are we going to go back again? Oh, nice through ball. And it is cut out by Girona, and Girona retain possession. And it's back at the foot of the keeper, and he's going to play it out again. So United pinning in Girona right now. They're showing the replay. I can't tell. Oh, this is the free kick a while ago, I guess. Or no, there was no free kick. Play stopped. Max Lowe ran down the left-hand side, unmarked. His defender trailing him. United got a little bit lucky there. Everybody stopped playing. Oh, Adrian says 22. David says 32. David says, oh yeah, we're going up. We're going up. Thanks guys for the likes. Thanks. It means a lot for me to do these solo missions by myself. I enjoy them. I enjoy having a partner along as well. Ian, for who hit the bar, Max Lowe hit the bar. And the score line is still 0-0. United have the ball. I think it's a free kick inside United's half on the edge of the center circle from Max Lowe. Although we know he's not really the goal scorer that we want. Tough to tell, Raven or Rayan. Tough to tell. It is really, really hard to tell. I won't pass judgment until I see him in the Prem, and I can announce on our pod. Yes, Slimani is a great player. He needs some work. He needs to get. I don't know. I just it's too early to tell. I don't. If you're just now joining, I don't judge what players do in the preseason based on these games, because these games mean absolutely nothing. The whole thing is I don't want anybody to get injured. I'm going to say right now, actually, you'll have to wait. If you're not subscribed to our podcast, Red Half of Sheffield, give it a like, give it a listen. We're going to release our preseason pod probably next week sometime. That's when I'll let you know where I think we will finish. I'm not gonna spoil it now and give you a little morsel. I want to see you guys tune into our podcast. United have a throw in on the left-hand side in their own end, kind of parallel with our 18-yard box. It's headed away by a Girona player. It's kind of a little bit of head tennis right now. United do not come away with it. Girona come away with the ball on the left-hand side. They're just mucking it around at the back. We're nearly 25 minutes in. Yeah, that's an interesting fact. Sleep. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, Scott. Very, very true. Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be an adjustment for him coming into the Prem, because everybody anoints this league the hardest league to play in. And yes, it may be that because there's so much foreign influence. It's going to take just us playing in the championship this past season, and coming into the Prem, even though most of our players on this team have a little bit of Prem experience, it's changed in the 2 seasons that we were down in the championship to now. So, yeah, they have a little bit of experience, but it's going to take a few games for us to get into that groove. And I would honestly like to see if we could have scheduled any, Prem sides as a preseason fixture when it gets closer to the game or to the start of the season, to get us more acclimated to how that fast pace, because it's definitely going to be a change of tempo in this division. So you guys aren't missing really much Girona, as I've said for about 1 million times, just passing around at the back. They're working it around the back, and United are just kind of letting them have the ball. JC liked the backdrop. Yeah, guys, what do you think? What do you like? Do you like this backdrop? Does it suck? Do you want me to get rid of it? Do you like the more ambiance of an open room, or what? How do we feel on the backdrop? I've had some positive reviews on this. Very true, Adrian, and welcome back, by the way. Adrian's a weekly viewer. VAR is definitely gonna probably take some goals away. Probably have some more players for us sent off. The Prem refs tend to skew more towards the top 6 teams if we're playing them than us. So yes, that definitely is going to be an influence. Dumb Idiot, welcome back as well. He is a weekly viewer. He likes the backdrop. Luke's a blade. He likes the backdrop. Yeah, I mean, you might be right here. Honestly, we did go attack. Hecky, with the lack of attacking players in this side, we're probably gonna sit back, soak up a bit of pressure, and then maybe get hit on the counterattack. Mr. Simon's in the chat. I think yes, the thermostat is buried right now. I think it's, as of current temperature, it's probably 80 degrees with the heat index, 80 degrees Fahrenheit over here. I just got the AC down so low. Simon said that's why I've got the sweatshirt on. I did see a comment where I got this from. This was on United Club Shop 4 or 5 years ago, I guess. I've had it since. I wear it in most of our podcasts and the preview pods that I do. So this is from a familiar sweatshirt. Yes, Scott, you're exactly right. Make sure the Hawkeye is turned on. Yeah, I would like to, Simon, as well. I hope Brewster can have a full fit season and doesn't get injured, and where it hampers his season, because it seems like, as I mentioned in the build up to this game, he plays one game and gets touched, and then he's out for 6 to 8 months, and it's like we never see him again. And that's not the player we paid for when we had such a high price tag on him back in our final season in the Prem. Guys haven't missed really much of anything in the last, honestly, 5 minutes. United have the ball at the back. It's at the foot of Adam Davies. That's about it. United just kind of working the ball around. It is basically like a glorified training session. The ball out to the left-hand side. Max Lowe in again. Low lining cross, and it's sought out. United have a corner. See what we can do. See if we can deliver a good cross in and maybe go ahead before the break. 15 minutes till the break. I don't think there's going to be much added time, but we shall see. Yeah, it was a great ball to Max Lowe, and the Max Lowe just did terrible with the final product. The new boy, Slimani, will take this cross, the number 25. We'll see what we can muster out of this corner. Is it going to be headed away? Is he just going to try and score a goal from a corner? Here we go. We can see Man City's youth teams, I'm assuming, warming up and training in the background. This is this is a huge, beautiful training ground. An absolute beautiful training ground. Refs blowing the whistle, waiting to get the free kick. Here comes. And it is headed out for a goal kick. Thanks, Simon, by the way. Thanks for the much appreciated support. Yeah, I mean, I would agree with Scott. He hasn't played in almost a year. I think he went out in October. Quote me. Don't quote me, but I think that's when he got hurt last year and he missed the whole entire season. And yeah, it's going to be tough. Oh yeah. Adrian, yeah, they're laughing all the way to the bank because they fleeced us big time. It's just crazy. Well, at least that good. Okay. Me too. JC, I'm agreeing with you wholeheartedly. I want nothing but Rhian Brewster. I have Rhian Brewster's shirt from when we were in the Prem the first time. And he was such a disappointment. Hopefully, he will come good for us at some point. And we don't, David makes a good point. We're nursing him back slowly. Yeah. it's just one of those things. I don't want another JOC, the Jack O'Connell situation, where we rush him too back too fast, and then we end up killing his career because we don't bring him back and give him enough time to heal from his injury. As United have another corner, comes in headed, but it is wide of goal. So it is still 0-0, and we are slogging this bad boy to halftime. Johnny Squarehead Egan was going to go up for it, but he misses out to it. It wasn't a bad corner. I mean, it was unmarked, honestly. It was unmarked. And like I've said so many times in this first half, it's at the back again with Girona. They're waiting to get us underway. We're 33 minutes. The time is on correct there, guys. So as you can see, we're getting ever so close to, ooh, that might be a yellow card for Max Lowe. No, he held him up, but he got back in front of him. We're slowly drawing close to the end of the first half here. If you guys are actually watching the game, give me your thoughts in the first half. Honestly, I'm not going to lie, it's been pretty boring. As we kind of knew it was going to be, but, you know, that's what happens with these preseason friendlies. If you don't, I just don't know what to expect in these preseason friendlies. We'll go back to chat row. Chat row's been very interactive today. Yeah. I mean, he's done it. He's done it a few times today. Slimani has taken it. Oh, as there is a chance in on goal for Girona. They don't miss. 1-0 Girona. They break down the right-hand side. Adam Davies not able to get down to save that one. Or is it offsides? Oh, it's offsides. Never mind. It was offsides. Sorry, I jumped to conclusions there. But Girona, I was wondering how they got into such a crazy position. It was offsides. I'm sure I'll see the replay coming up as United have the ball now at the back. But yes, it was a 2-on-1. They crossed the ball across, slotted it home, but offsides flag go up, and it still remains 0-0. Blades working it down the left-hand side, and it's almost like Girona have been the better in the last 5 or so. They've had certainly more possession. Now they have it at the back, passing around in their own half, working it down the left-hand side. He tries to do a little bit of a turn, and the Bosnian holds him up, and we get it underway again. Or are they going to make him retake the free kick? Yeah, I don't know. I guess he's offsides in the build-up. As Girona switch the play over to the left-hand side to dribble it in the box, try a 1-2. It is cleared out by United, and then a goal from certainly a far, far amount out. They wanted a penalty in the box, but I don't think they're ever going to get it. Yeah, he's complaining that there was a foul in the box. And yeah, nothing doing. Yeah, it was offsides. Yeah. Thanks. I just came up with it over the summer, and I'm hoping to interchange it. I got to get another United flag. I do have the scarf at the top. I want to get one that says USA Blades on it. Might have to make one of those. Oh, actually, it was not offsides. The ball never went in, guys. It hit the inside of the post, but never crossed the line. From our vantage point and the view on the camera, the ball pinged the inside of the post but never went over the line. So it was no offsides. So very interesting as United are on the back foot as Girona come again, kind of defending this one. Girona just kind of poking and prodding. And as I've alluded to over the last few minutes, it's been kind of all Girona. We really haven't had much of any luck on the ball as Girona work the ball into the edge of the box. Then we get caught in possession, and here they come again. And it is shot, but Adam Davies is able to save it. Easy as you like. Harry, I am watching for everybody in chat that is not. I'm watching it on SUTV. They have a streaming package for the preseason fixtures. So that's what I'm watching it on. United have the ball at the back. Back to Adam Davies. He's going to be closed down. He's going to get rid of it, and it is going to be conceded possession to Girona. Girona, my Girona. They're on the ball now, have it at the midfield. Their players are kind of shifty and nifty. They can make some good turns, and they're definitely opening up our midfield a fair bit. Cross comes in, sought out by John Egan, out for a Girona, my Girona, throw in. Level of the 18-yard box. They're working it around the mixer, working it back. United kind of pressing them back towards halfway. Down the left-hand side. Ooh, that was a loose pass. United almost jumped on it. There are... Down, Girona lose out on it. Is it our ball? Yes, it is United ball inside the Girona half for a throw. I think United are going to take this one a bit slower. Guys, stick around for halftime. 5, probably maybe 7 minutes away. We're going to have Darren Smith back on for his first half analysis and what he thinks is going to happen in the second half. And then at full time, I'll have him back on and we'll get his full-time analysis, wrap up the whole shebang, the whole story. As I appreciate everybody that is in the chat watching. We couldn't do it without you guys. I couldn't do it without you guys. United had the ball in about 15 yards away from goal and lost it. Slimani lost the ball. Daley Blind in his bald spot. You can see from the moon on the ball now. And he is working it in to the midfield. Now they switch the play to the right-hand side, and they clearly have worked the ball down the right-hand side a lot in this. They have used their wingers, right and left-hand side, a lot in this first half. I think that's going to be a throw into my Girona. Yep. I mean, I'd agree with you too, Simon. Yep. Yep. Yeah. I mean, that's, you're not wrong, Danny. I mean, there's a few players in midfield that have turned our players inside out, to be fair. As it's kind of been all Girona, my Girona in this back half of the second half. A little loose pass. Ooh. Little loose pass as it's going to go out for... Nope, no, it didn't go out. It is Girona ball over on the left-hand side. They're going to work the ball around the top of the box. Just kind of flinging it about here. Over on the left-hand side now. Yes, as I alluded to, they are working the wings like crazy. United cut it out. And we get it to about the halfway line. Do we win a free kick? Yes. Will Sula wins that free kick, and we will have a free kick to take a bit of the sting out. Yep. Rick, you're right. You've missed it. I've been saying it almost the entire half. My Girona. There you go. Yep. My Girona. Pie. That was a loose pass at the back. Good thing we were able to cut that one out. They were going to be in on goal. United down the right-hand side they go. Slow, but at a snail's pace. Let's see. Now they're switching play, working it down the left-hand side. I would expect probably a fair few of these players to still be in the second half, as we alluded to in the build-up up to this match. Yesterday, they got about 75 minutes, I think it was. I think we're going to get about 75 minutes out of most of these players now. So it's good for their legs, getting their fitness up. I just like to see a goal in it at least. We haven't scored in 2 preseason games. Yeah, I mean, he did look good. He just didn't score. He had a bundle of chances. He could have probably had a first half hat trick. I mean, but it's tough to say with him. A lot of people are clamoring to have him stay. I think he needs to go out on loan. Championship side, maybe a League One side, somewhere we can dominate, get his confidence up, get him scoring goals. At times, JC, it looks like we're playing a back 4, but some of the times it's like we're playing a back 3. We're kind of switching. Peter, not really. I mean, we've kind of been second best for the last 15 minutes. But then again, don't really expect much out of this. As United have the ball and lose out, Will Sue loses out again on the ball. I don't know. I just don't know. So that is it. That is all for the first half. Halftime. I'll get to put this halftime banner up here. 0-0. As I alluded to, it is halftime. Nothing really doing. Just kind of almost going through the motions, I feel. The biggest thing is getting the players the fitness. And as we're about to do, I'm about to bring in the man, the myth, the legend again for his halftime analysis. Welcome back, Darren. What'd you make of that first half? Kind of boring, wasn't it?
Well, was it really what we expected? I did say Girona would dominate possession, but they've not really created a lot of chances. Feel a bit sorry for the Blades front too. They're 2 young kids, and Girona have actually put a very experienced centre-back pairing in Wampy and David Lopez. They've not really got much change out of them. But I think United are working hard. I think they're closing Girona down. I think they're approaching the game with the work rate that they needed to.
My question is I just don't know I wonder what happened to Jimmy, Johnny, Billy, Bobby Fleck, because it looked like he took an innocuous knock, and then 5 minutes later he gets subbed off. So, for me, I didn't really see anything. Maybe it was just precautionary. But what were your thoughts on it? I mean, it looked innocuous. Did it look like he got a little bit of a cut or a gash on his shin?
He was pointing to the outside of his right calf, wasn't he?
Yeah. I don't know what to make of that. What did you make of the Max Lowe chance that should have put United ahead, and he hit the bar?
I think you can see already we're trying to push up Siriki and Lowe. I think that is the template for next season. I think that we're going to try and see the wing backs almost like the fourth and fifth midfielders and try and sort of swamp the midfield a little bit in the Premier League. Whereas I think under Chris Wilder they tended to defend deep. So we're seeing them in their attacking positions, aren't we? I think Siriki's having a difficult time though against the young Girona left winger Justin. He isn't actually a first teamer, and you can tell that he's trying to impress to try and get in that first team squad.
I certainly thought they scored a goal. I certainly thought Girona scored a goal, and then I thought it was offsides, and then I watched the replay back, and he hit the inside of the post, and it came out, so it never crossed the line. So we got let off there. They certainly opened us up like a bag of crisps. I mean, that was quite the opening up of the back line of United, and I mean, if for him being a bit unlucky, Girona should have a 1-0 lead here.
I think Girona will be disappointed with their passing in United's half. They're usually a little bit more crisp. I think that's just where we are in the pre-season. That they're just not at their peak level. But Girona are happy to play possession, but normally they're a little bit more incisive going forward. I don't think Stuani's even had a touch as a focal point as the striker. So yeah, I think United again, they'll be happy the way they defended. They'll be happy the way that they've closed down. They've just got no threat up front, have they? The front two just getting totally smothered really by the two experienced centre backs.
Yeah, I mean, and as you alluded to, they're going to have them in their back pocket because of the youthful inexperience of our front two compared to the experienced back line of Girona. Do you think we're not going to make any subs halftime? As we alluded to pre-match, we're probably going to give these boys about a 75-minute run out and then put the kids on because we do have a pretty deep bench. I mean, there's a lot of youth on that bench that I think we're going to see subbed in for maybe the last 25 minutes in the second half. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I think as Blades fans, this is a 75-minute game, isn't it? I think Girona are probably going to change a few, unless it's been pre-arranged that they both do it around the 75-minute mark. I think Girona will probably try to put 45 minutes in. They've got quite a few senior players on the bench, so they'll be wanting to give them 45 minutes. So yeah, I think they're probably both approaching it slightly differently. I think what I do like is the fact I like Sander Berger in this midfield pivot role. I don't think he's particularly done anything particularly outstanding, but he's been very tidy and he's been closing his man down and following his runners and things like that. And Slimani, again, he doesn't look like a game changer as such, but his corners were good and he's technically very good on the ball.
Yeah, I did notice that the few corners he did take, we did have some players available to go up for free headers. We just weren't able to get one on goal. I can think of one that went wide, but I mean, he looks a decent player. And Chat Row has been asking me what I think of him, and I said honestly, it's too early to really judge him because, I mean, you don't make anything out of these games. I won't know until he either has a great game or has a terrible game when we start him in the Prem, or if he comes on in a substitute appearance, whatever. Because I think that's what we're gonna do. I think we're gonna kind of use our core players that have been here as our starting 11 to begin the season, and then we sprinkle the new boys in over the first maybe month of the season to see where we kind of end up at the end of the season. And it's almost a good measuring stick. The first 10 games, they say you really don't know what you have until you play 10 league games. So I think if the first 2 or 3 games we keep the same team and then sprinkle in the new boys over the first, the rest of the 7 games of the first 10 games of the season, I think that'd be a fair shout what we should do to see where they are. And then come the end of August, or I mean, not the end of August, probably the end of September, we'll know where we what we have as a squad and where we stand.
Yeah, I think a lot depends on who the two domestic loans are that come in. I think you might find that this formation of Berger in centre mid, Slimani either side, and a loan doing the same. I think you might see a bit of fluidity between the two right and left footers as able to switch play, switch sides and move around. I think that might be the way we go, but it's hard to tell at the moment. I think, like I say, I think the biggest worry would have is that John Fleck, who's had a lot of injury problems, look like you say, it looks like he's suffering a bit of long-term wear and tear, doesn't he? I don't think that knock would have affected him 4 or 5 years ago. I mean, I might just be being unfair, and he's just having a bit of a bad run, but it just felt like it was the way he's going for him at the moment.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I was like, man, that was very innocuous challenge. It wasn't anything. It's like John Fleck would have, gotten up from that a few years ago and just kind of trudged on. And maybe it is almost like a non-ceremonial changing of the guard where we're moving on, and John Fleck is only there for, maybe depth in case we do lose midfield players. And I hate to say it, after the good season that Ollie Norwood had after I slagged him off in our last season in the Prem, and a good majority of the first season of the championship, had a great season last year. I wonder if this is almost removing him. If we do bring in another big loan in the midfield, is this moving him to the bench as well?
I think there's a good chance that you don't really know with Ollie Norwood which one's going to turn up, do you? Because for 2/3 of the promotion season, he was probably our outstanding player behind Illy, and probably certainly our most influential in a lot of ways. And then his form just dropped off a cliff, and actually that was when we discovered that Tommy Doyle in his best position as well, wasn't it? So I'm not really sure. Which Ollie Norwood's going to turn up in the Premier League. Yeah, I think it'd be interesting. I think with Flecky, I think that probably what earned him a contract was behind the scenes as much as anything else, and teaching good habits, but also in those games where we were holding on to leads, he was very strong in those last 15, 20 minutes. And I think you might be seeing the same. I think Hecky's probably looked at it and thought, if we're holding on for a 1-0 or a level, that Fleck is a great pair of legs to bring on for that last 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah. That certainly would be interesting to see. As far as all these youth players, we do have a lot of youth strung through. Even, you look at yesterday's lineup, today's lineup, the benches and all that stuff. In your opinion, United's academy and youth system, it's a pretty good one, isn't it? I think we're ahead of, I mean, I don't think we're not class 1 youth academy, but we're top end of that class 2, and I think we're in pretty good hands with the youth of the future at United. Would you agree with that?
We have to be careful because the academy results are very strong, but we're not playing in the Premier League academy because we're not in the Category 1 status.
Yeah,
I think that we get a better share of decent players because a lot of kids don't want to get lost in the big Premier League academy systems, whereas someone like Asula and Marsh and Neil, Arblaster last season, they're nearer the first team at Sheffield United than they are in a Chelsea academy or whatever. And we've got obviously the pedigree of bringing through Brooks and Calvert-Lewin and people like that. I just think maybe the Premier League is not the year that they're going to come through. I think with majority they're going to go out on loan, and then if the worst comes to the worst and we do end up being relegated, you'd hope that they'd form more of a core of.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I don't know. I just think United are in. If we keep building sustainability in the long in play the long game and don't play the short game like so many clubs are playing, I think we're going to be in good hands over the next 5 or so years. And as I speak to that, we are ready for the second half. Your thoughts leading into the second half, Mr. Smith?
No more injuries and keep up the high tempo. I like the tempo of this game.
Yeah, I do like the high tempo. I mean, we did start with a high press and made it very tough on Girona. They gave the ball away and put it out of play a few times, but yeah, I do like the high tempo of this. Fancy coming back at the end of this one and doing a full-time wrap up with me?
Yeah, I'll see you later.
Okay, cheers, mate. Always thank. I was surprised when I woke up this morning and saw that message from Darren of who's watching or who's doing the watch along and all this, and I was like, oh, cool, I'll have him on. I never even reached out to him. I followed him on Twitter, and we got to talking on Twitter this morning, and I brought him on. Oh, United are back underway, going from left to right. And Girona start very well, very fast. It is a very pacey game. As Girona have a shot, but it is cleared out for a throw into Girona on the right hand side. Good afternoon, Wayne. Yes, always thanks for having Darren on. It is great. Wayne is in Kings Lynn. I think last time when he came through, he had a mistype or a typo, and it said some place I'd never heard of, and I was like, "Oh, I think he's from Kings Lynn." And sure enough, he is. That's where he's watching from. Girona have the ball at the foot of the keeper right now on their own end, kind of just working around the back. As Darren did allude to, Girona did have a lot of the ball in the first half. United did have the high press, but they just didn't get any service into the two up front. And as also Darren alluded to, they have an experienced Girona have their experienced center back pairing in the back. So it's going to be tough on our youth to break them down, especially when we have the likes of don't have the likes of Illiman and I, who could probably open up a bit of space for him. United do have the ball in Girona's half. That was a terrible pass given away in the midfield. Slimani tries to close him down. He wins out. Ahmed Hadzic wins us a throw into the Blades as we are getting it back underway, and the ball is mucked around to Johnny Squarehead Egan. Now he's at the ball's at the foot of Adam Davies. So, guys, as I always do, we didn't have a chance during halftime. Put in the comments where you're listening from around the world, watching from around the world. I am in North Carolina, as you guys always know. You guys, if you don't already listen to my and Noah's podcast, Red Half of Sheffield, subscribe, like, listen. Give us a follow on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. On Twitter or whatever, I think it's called X now. I have no idea. Just give us a like and a follow and a listen and tell us. You can give us our opinion. If we suck, you can tell us we suck. I don't care. I'm used to it. Like this stream, hammer that like button. Like the Chef United Way, subscribe. All good content released all the time. Guys are on top of it. Girona have the ball in the box. It is blocked by, I believe, John Egan. And they win the ball back again. As the ball is inside United half, he's watching from Sheffield, about an hour's train ride down from where this game is probably taking place in Manchester. As there's a halt in play. And United, I believe, have a free kick. Or is it still Girona's ball? Yep, it's my Girona's ball. It might have got him where the sun doesn't shine. Oh, man, that looked like it hurt. And Girona go out again down the left-hand side. They go. Been a pretty boring match, but what to expect from a preseason friendly. As Girona work the ball in the box, it's blocked out. They have a rip, and what a save from Adam Davies. Ooh, man, that was a rip from midfield. Number 14 from Girona hammered that bad boy. That definitely would have been a piss missile of a goal if it went in. Shot came in from the right-hand side, deflected, fell right to him. He lined it up, hit it sweetly. Great save by Adam Davies, center of the goal. Pushed it over the bar. Girona have a corner. At this point, we might as well make the money. If he's not going to sign a contract extension, we might as well let him go, get the money for him instead of not making any money next season. That's my opinion on it. Girona, terrible corner, cleared out, but it's back to the foot of the defenders. Down the right-hand side they go. And it is on the right-hand side of United. Over to the left-hand side they work. This 24 for Girona has been an absolute pest. He has been an absolute thorn in United's side every time he gets on the ball. Sandy Barge gets in a bit of trouble. Back to Adam Davies. Adam Davies just high fly ball to right center field, and it is caught by the Girona player. Girona are playing a high press. United really can't get out. Now they get on the ball. They sustain some possession for about 10 or so seconds. Still have it. They're going to cross the halfway line. They do. Back into Sheffield United half. That would sustain a bit of pressure. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, to each their own, I guess. It's sadly this game's controlled by money. If we don't have any funds, we leave him go or let him go next year for free. We don't make any money off him. And especially if he doesn't sign a contract extension. If he signs a contract extension or wants to, then do it. That way we're guaranteed money. As we give the ball away at the back, Slimani gives it away, but then wins it back. But then the overlapping ball in the center of the box, it's, whew. Man, we can't get out at the moment. There is a goal Girona's way coming because we cannot pass the ball to save our lives out of the box. Ball again with Girona. About 35 yards from goal. And they're just patiently passing the ball around. I mean, tough to say. It looks like there's one team in this game right now, and Girona will probably do it. Ball goes out for a Girona throw-in. 53 minutes gone in this one. Thanks for joining, everyone. I would imagine we got about 20 minutes left of this one, and then it probably gets a little bit younger by both teams starting to rotate their sides in. Obviously, that's all that's on the bench for United's youth, so United will get considerably younger. Ball still at the foot of Girona. They're playing it at the back, honestly. They're kind of poking and prodding, but not really doing much with it. United have a throw. Again, the high press is really putting our players under a bit of pressure, and we play it out of play again. Throw in to Girona, my Girona. And ball at the back here. All the way back to Girona's keeper. You guys aren't really missing much. Ooh. I don't think they'd let him go to anybody in and around us for a relegation battle. I think they might let him go, especially if like the Big Six come calling. Why would we not let him go to that? Because they probably offer a king's ransom for him. Yeah, I mean, I would agree with you there, but I also would like to have something in our pocket for if we don't stay up. And I don't think that one player right now keeps us up, even though he is an absolute world beater. You know, depending on how we finish this window with what players we have coming through the door might change my opinion. But we still have over a month for that. Girona on the ball right now. It is really slowed down, guys. They're just passing the ball around the back. I literally might fall asleep with how boring this one is. We definitely need a goal in this one to open it up a little bit. Girona come down the right hand side. They're in the United box. Back out, and they're going to try and cross it from about 16 yards out. It's sought out by United. And we give the ball away again in that area. Here comes Girona. They're just poking and prodding. Just poking. Poke, 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 poke. Yeah, nothing really coming of it right now, though. They can have all the possession as long as they don't score. But if they do score, does that then bring United out to try and level? Because this could be 3 games in a row we haven't scored jack. Nada. Ball back at the foot of the defender for Girona all the way back to the keeper. Yeah, JC, it is a hard watch. This is but we all knew that. Yeah, really hard watch. Really, really hard watch. It comes over on the right-hand side. It's just they're so slow. It lost a bunch of the fire it had in it from the first half. That is, I mean, that's a good point, but does it come in time or not? Do we have to wait all season? Do we have to wait till next summer for it to come in? We don't know. Only time will tell on that one. And depending on how much money that owner has, we might be able to do something with it. Oh my God, we're giving the ball away in the box. We are playing with fire. We're going to get burned, Scarecrow. Girona's ball at the top of the box. Just passing it about. United are very organized when Girona get the ball in and around the box. Yeah, but we just can't get back on the end of the ball. It's one of those deals where Girona just controls the ball, and Darren alluded to that in the build up and at halftime. Girona's going to control the possession, so this is almost set up as a defensive training session for United. We're not looking to get bundles and bundles of goals out of this. If we probably put our fair share of a better side out, we probably do a lot better. But as we all know, this is preseason. Preseason. Just keep that in mind. Don't slag the players off. It's only preseason. United have an outlet here down the left-hand side. The break is on. The overlap, I can't tell who that is, and the ball was given away cheaply. United commit too many men forward. We're trying to get back in numbers. Here comes Girona. It's 3-on-2, 3-on-3, overlapping. It's 5-on-3. They shouldn't score here. Lays it off, top of the box. He's going to have a rip, and it's right at Adam Davies. Right at Adam Davies. Guys, don't forget, hammer that like button. Hammer that like button. United have a goal kick, and it's laid off on the left-hand side. Yeah, I mean, that's a fair point, Steve. I mean, very, very fair point. Welcome back to the chat, too. He is a weekly watcher, listener, whatever you want to call it. Down United still have the ball down the left-hand side. Lose it, but then win it back. And now we're going to try over to the big Bosnian Herzegovinian down on the right-hand side. It's over to Slimani looking for Amin Hadzic. Amin Hadzic has a shot and it hits the outside netting of the goal, but still that overlapping center back down the right-hand side he goes. So your guys, if you haven't dropped it in chat row, your guys' honest opinion of where you think we finished. I know we alluded to it in the beginning of the show, but where do you guys think we finish? Me personally, I'm not going to reveal it. Put it in the chat, and I'll bring it up on the screen. So it's a goal kick from Girona. That was an odd ball that came in. Yeah. It's a very fair point. We're going to miss out on January. I almost said January. African Cup of Nations, yes, where the entire the entire Ndiaye family, because that's the most important or most popular name, I guess, in Senegal is Ndiaye. United to work the ball down the right hand side, top of the box. Slimani, he saw something. I think we were offsides. I would never own a Wrexham kit, Steve. Oh, the mothership is reporting down that I'm doing a great job. Thanks, guys. Scrape 17th. I'm okay with that. I don't know. I'm not one of the media personnel. I don't know. I'm just a talking head that'll say whatever and whatever. I don't believe it until he's either holding up another shirt or holding up, that awkward smile signing a new contract at the table. I don't know. It's tough to say whether you believe whatever you believe. Girona look like they're making two changes here in the second half. Number 27 and number 28. Mr. Scott, Mr. Positivity. Can we change your name this year to Positive Scott, 15th to 17th? Okay. Can I get a position you think we're going to finish Meat Gambling Channel? Okay. 19th, 20th, most season, but the last 10 weeks push 17th survive. I take it. Wayne, very optimistic, 15th. Yes. I mean, this is more on what Darren said at the beginning of the show. Yeah, it's probably hot over in Bulgaria. It's a scorcher over here in the States. I think 90% of the country is in the 90s, mid 90s, upper 90s, almost touching 100 degrees. Okay, here we go. Flame Rider 15th without Illumin, 17th. Okay. Girona come down the right-hand side. You really haven't missed much. I mean, they made the changes, and that was kind of about it. Just kind of mucking it around. Here. As Girona try and work the ball in, we're going to lay it back to Adam Davies, and he's going to clear it out. And it does fall to a United foot, but then we clear it out. Only as far as the center circle, it's at Sandy Barge's foot, which he's been one of our players that have kind of, when they've been on the ball, has kind of controlled it a little bit. As United come down the left-hand side, ball to Willow Sula, and of course he misses it. Man, he missed. He put it over the bar. Keeper did a good job. Paulo Cazaniga. I mean, that's a number one goalkeeper right there. Will Asua got his angles closed down. He had to go. And, I mean, it was a great ball through. That was from Max Lowe, and he just skies it. He probably should have put that on frame. Meet Gamble channel. 15th, Adrian. 13 to 14. Okay. No, Rick, no changes to the United lineup. Girona have made 2. Don't ask me who they are. They were number 27 and number 28. And Sheffield United of Sheffield, have a corner on the right-hand side here. This in-swinger. Waiting. Here comes the corner. Heads go up. Falls down and Hodgets. It's blocked. Streaky. Hey, ball comes in. Sandy Barge, top of the box. He's lets it set up. It's blocked. I mean, a good spell of possession there from Blades there. I mean, had 3 or 4 shots blocked in the box, and I'll take it. Yeah, if you can see Scott's comment in chat row, yeah, I would imagine probably about 10 more minutes, 15 more minutes will make wholesale changes and bring a lot of the youth that's on the bench into the game. And you might see if Girona keep this pace up, you might see United give a few goals away. Sariki isn't doing bad, Rick, but it's kind of a makeshift team, and you can tell that because the chemistry isn't very good. Down the right-hand side, they go. Ahmed Hadzic going to cross this bad boy in. Will Asul trying to hold it up in the box. We try to get a shot off. It doesn't fall. And it's all the way back to John Egan, who sees Max Lowe but isn't able to reach him. Here comes Girona down the right-hand side. Oh, God. That was a bad tackle. Kind of broke his ankles, came back and tackled him. Yeah, so Girona have a free kick from about 25 yards out. Yeah, this is very true. Scott's doing God's work. Mm-hmm. Yep. No, it's funny. It's funny to call him Sandy Barge. The whole of Serie A is saying 2-0 Sheffield United. Yes, you are trying. Scott always does a great job. And always a great job. Every single stream he's on, he sits at home and gives us very good insight. Fills us in all the time. Keeps us. He'll probably have the attendance here in about 20 minutes. It's going to be a big fat 0, I would imagine. Ball came in for the cross, and they headed across goal, and nothing doing there. A free kick. Where did it go? No, it's a goal kick. It is a goal kick. I didn't know if they called a foul or it just went out. It is a ball did go out for a goal kick, so Mr. Davies will boot this one. Down the left-hand side, United go. A little bit of a magger over there. He magged him. Magged him. And stop me if you heard this once or 500 times. Girona on the ball again. And honestly, they're just kind of like stopping it. Actually, Scott, I'm going to tell you, the crowd's probably going to be about 38 people. Because the amount of people that I can see on the right-hand side, actually that little standover on the far-hand side at Man City's training grounds, pretty full. The youth team, Man City's youth team stopped to watch They're behind the fence of United's goal. Girona just kicking it about. Just kicking it about. If you guys can't tell, I'm trying to get snippets from the Sheffield United way. As Ahmed Hodzic had a marauding run, they're going to pull it back for a free kick. I am counting. Well, I'm not counting the players in officials, but that it looks like that far. Well, no, it doesn't look like it's too full. There might be 60, 100 or 60, 100. There might be 60 or 100. Steve, I have no idea where you can get this headboard. That is my newly, I don't know how to say that, newly ringed up fiance's headboard. So I don't know where she's had that for like 20 years. I have no idea. Funny play there, Steve. No, there hasn't been any United subs. Girona's made 2. I would imagine with United only having 20 minutes left, I would imagine they're gonna make some subs here in the next 10 minutes. We can only hope either him or McAtee are like, no, but McAtee's on their international tour, and I don't know where they're playing that at. I don't know if they're in the States or if they're in Asia. United have the ball. You guys really haven't missed much. Basically box to box. Down the left-hand side, looking for a running Max Lowe, who he gets it into Usul, and Usul either trips or slips. I don't know. Okay, so Lucky 79. Their Man City are playing their first team is in Japan, and he has been scoring for him. So he's been doing wow, that's quite a ways away. Welcome, very welcome. Yep. That is a long way away from where I am. Anyway, United have a corner, left-hand side. Ball's kind of being knocked around the box. Nothing really happening. And Girona come away with the ball. United have the ball, then lose out, and that's going to be a free kicker, Magoo. And it's no real danger to United at all. So we got about 17 minutes left. Man, what a player McAtee is going to be, man. What a player. Was it, Steve, was it a rotated Bayern side, or was it like a decent Bayern side where he was actually going up against some of their first team? I don't think he signed for anybody. Scored 4? Oh, okay. I was reading Wayne Flint's comment. I was like, he scored 4? Hold on a minute. Girona have the ball, and they slot it home, and it is 1-0. My Girona. My Girona. As it is a well-worked ball, a low-lining ball shot that comes in, slots it in the far corner, and we trail 1-0 to my Girona. It was a ball worked at the top of the box over to the right-hand side. And just calmly, it honestly just rolled into the corner. It literally just rolled into the corner. Nutmegged Max Lowe and went right into the bottom corner. Adam Davies might have been a little bit screened, so he didn't get a good read on it. But yeah, it came in, nutmegged Max Lowe, and United trail. So we will get us back underway. 15 minutes to go. And yeah, I mean, we give the ball away. This could be 2. This could be 2. This could be 2, and it's deflected. Giving the ball away, giving away now. Girona turns a loose pass at the back in a possession, and we've got to defend it, and we do well getting away with it. Girona have another corner. And it looks like we're going to make our first change of the game. And if you read anything into it, it's Illman and Dye, number 29. Oh, United are going to make wholesale changes. There's at least, it looks like about 8 players coming in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 players. 1. Yep, this is where we empty the bench here. Yep, Max Lowe. Not good. Max Lowe right through the old wickets, and it is 1-0. 2. Girona. Yes, I am from the United States. Welcome from India. Wow, we do have a few worldwide United supporters or just football fans in general. Corner for my Girona comes in. Headed out, and it's only cleared as far as the 18-yard box, and it comes back in. They're mucking it around at the back. Youth team is now in. If you're just joining us, we have emptied the entire bench. All the starters out. 75 minutes. 7 or 8 changes have just came in. It's so United waving the white flag, and we're going to give a run out to the youth players for the last 15 or so minutes, and we'll see how this one ends up. But thank you guys very much for coming and hanging out with me early morning on a Wednesday in the United States. It's probably, if not tomorrow, from the people in Korea or even India, it's probably late night. Girona again with the ball. United have it back now. I'm very surprised that Girona hasn't emptied their bench as well and rotated with 2 of their players only being subbed on. But it is what it is. We are on different game plans, it looks like. Girona working the ball down the right-hand side. And United win it back, but they, again, concede possession. Adam Davies comes out and clears it. RT, I mean, it's been okay. It's been more of like a defensive training session for us. Girona's controlled the ball for most of it. We haven't had any service up to the front, too. Other than that, it's just kind of been a dull, drab game. Max Lowe hit the bar in the first half. And it's just now we have the youth players in. Not probably going to get a goal again. That is the one worrying sign, but the goals will come. As we approach 10 minutes remaining in this game, I'm curious to see how we handle the last 10 minutes. Is this one where we get opened up? Is this one where we sit back? It's tough to say. and just let some of the players play. I don't know. It's tough to. It's just all about getting youth experience in the team, getting the youth experienced, and you're not really missing much. Um, they're just passing it around right now at the back. Girona is. Um, Ball at the foot of the Girona keeper. Lumps it over the top, and it's sought out by Adam Davies because it didn't really amount to any. Yes, I would agree with Scott. I can't read most of it. Yeah, I'm not very bilingual, so I can't I can't really help in the chat. This one's kind of the fire has kind of got snuffed out of this one. Girona have a free kick. And it's just, I mean, it is at a snail's pace now. It is at a really, 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 really slow pace. It lost a lot of the fire that it had in the first half. United win the ball, but it goes out of play for a throw in to Girona. Yeah, Scott, unfortunately, I think it's turned into a walking around game now. I mean, judging by when the ball gets to the back line, United don't look like they're pressing Girona. I mean, we're pressing the throw in, but other than that, we were letting Gazaniga have all the time he wanted on the ball. United try to get the ball, but we end up going to the back and passing it around, working up the left-hand side. I am not doing the watch along on Saturday, Wayne. Unfortunately, I will wish you a early birthday. I am going to look at wedding venues for our big wedding that we're going to have planned here coming up sometime next year. So, unfortunately, when United are playing, I won't be able to watch that game. But I probably will be back in the chair for the Stuttgart game a week before the season starts. When we play them, I believe, I think we're playing. Yeah, we are at Bramall Lane for that one. So I will be back in the chair for that one. And this upcoming season, again, I will be doing the preview pods that will be released on our YouTube channel, Red Half of Sheffield YouTube channel. Look us up after you get out of this stream at the end of it. I will have a preview pod with probably all other 19 teams to give the insight on how their team's been doing, what we can look forward to, their danger men, what they think of United, so on and so forth. If you watched any of them from the championship last year, you will know what they're all about. They're going to continue this year into the Prem. So yeah, look forward to that. Our preseason pod going to drop sooner rather than later coming up. What we think is going to happen with United. Yeah, a lot of sorts of fun things going on. I'm going to try and do at least 35 to all 38 games of United this year. Can't promise because the fixtures are going to get moved around. It might be less than that because of us changing fixture times. I might not be in the chair for the entire season, but my goal is trying to nail out all 38 games. I know we have some midweek spread in there, so I might not be able to get those due to work, but it is what it is. I try to I love entertaining you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed the show as well. We have another one. We have Columbia. Wow, Michael, welcome. We're not playing so bad. I don't read into the preseason friendlies. It's a youth team out there for the last 5-6 minutes. I mean, it is what it is. We didn't even have our strongest side out here. We didn't have a striker, our top strikers. We had 2 youthful strikers up front. So it kind of is what it is. We're just trying different things out leading into this season, which we know is going to be an arduous one. All right, Girona have a free kick on the halfway line. They're just kind of working it about. I don't really think we're gonna see anything else in this one. The ball is back with United. Down the left. Oh God, that was an ugly pass. Wow, that was bad. You can tell some of these players have not very much first team experience or playing a team this caliber, because fair to say we can't complete some of our passes that, if it was the normal first team out there, we would be making the passes. So here is the updated lineup with all the 17 changes. Sashjev, Barrett, Sariki's been in from the start. Dickinson, McGuire, Smith, Bayabua, Hackford, and Mact or Mace. I don't know how you say the last name. But yes, that is our lineup since the 75th minute. So about 10 minutes now. Definitely a youth side out there, aside from Adam Davies. I'm surprised we didn't put in Jordan Amissa, but I think he was just there for he's just there to ride the bench. Michael, we are watching this on SUTV. It is available for £6, but with only about 3 minutes left, I wouldn't suggest you buy it. But all the other games, Derby and Stuttgart are available on SUT streaming packages. The whole package is out for £30, I think it was, for all 6 or 8 matches. I don't know how many we had. Yeah, Scott, they keep putting in all these weird score lines. I don't even pay them any mind. It's 1-0. United are losing to Girona, my Girona. The timer in that corner right there means we have about 3 minutes left, less than 3 minutes, 2 minutes and some change. So we're going to just probably see this one out. There hasn't been much attacking from either team in the last 5 or so minutes. I think this is surely we can see the flame burning down and getting smaller, and this game is coming to a end. And it looks like United are going to be on the losing end of another friendly this season. Yeah, maybe one last attacking effort from United here. Works the ball inside, laid off. Decent effort. I believe was deflected or did he just miss the goal completely? I think he missed it completely. I will see the replay here again. Ball worked into the midfield, and then it was laid off the top of the 18-yard box. Has it go and just shanked it. Just shanked it. As we are about probably 60 seconds from the full-time whistle here. Man, a lot of likes, a lot of love, a lot of everything going on in this. If you haven't done so, I'll do it the last time. Plug the pod. Red half of Sheffield. Oh, the Gazzaniga. Oh, the ball fell. Gazzaniga let the ball short, and it fell to United, and they put a shot in that went across the face goal. Probably should have scored. This thing probably should have been 1-1. If you haven't done so, follow our podcast, Red Half Sheffield, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Look up Red Sheffield on Twitter. Subscribe to the Chef United Way. Like him on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the whole 9 yards. I don't know why you haven't subscribed if you're watching this chat. Subscribe to the channel, please. As we go into extra time here of the second half, can't be too much time left. Bit of head tennis. Ref is watching intently. Ball with Girona. You guys in chat are funny. Ball is back at Gazaniga. I don't know how we're playing much longer. I figured this would have been full time at 90 minutes. I don't know how much time we're allotted in added time, but for some reason we keep playing on. Ball's with United at the back, but I think the game's going to be blown dead here in, I would imagine, the next 45 seconds or so. Ball is with United, but nothing really going on here. Oh, boy. Getting a little risky. Ref has a look at his watch. Working the ball to the right-hand side. Girona come away with it. Oh, man. Now United have the ball. Pick it up. Down the right-hand side they go. The youth experience. Is that it? Is that all? The ref tells them to get it on, get it back in play. I think this might be the last kick of the game here, if I'm honest. Yeah. Appreciate it, Paul. Appreciate it. Thanks for hanging around. Thanks for hanging around, everybody. Goal kick for Girona. I don't think there's going to be too much left in this one. And United win the ball. Headed down at the back. Girona has the ball now. I don't really know what we're going. Yeah, cheers. Cheers, Scott. See you at the next one I do. And it finishes 2-0 as Girona just slotted one home. 2-0. United will run out losers in this one as a consolation goal kind of finishes off United, and Sheffield United are going to suffer back-to-back defeats in the last two preseason games as the ball is kind of worked to the right-hand side. Ball lumped over, headed, falls to the Girona player in the box. He has a good go. Slots it home. 2-0 to Girona, and United will lose this one. I don't know how much time we're going to be playing after we kick this off, or is it full time? So, the glorified training session that is this game probably winding to an end. I don't know how much more added time the ref is going to have. But United still pressing Girona right now. They are on the ball. I'm surprised this one hasn't been full timed. Let's see what chat wrote. We aren't, Steven. We're not bad. This is a preseason friendly. You don't read anything into it. I mean, it's nothing. It's absolutely nothing. And we play on. Girona at the back with the ball. And this is the longest amount of extra time I've ever seen in a preseason friendly. Back to their keeper. And now they're working around at the back. Player in midfield, number 3, is calling for it, and they overshoot him. United come away with the ball. I mean, we can't even complete a pass. Free kick. Surely there can't be much time. Refs obliged to keep us playing as we go into the 5th minute of added time. We'll probably score against Palace. PNUK. Girona working around the 18-yard box. And gonna have a go, and that one's over for a goal kick. I don't know how we're still playing this game. Surely we're in the inside of the last 10 or 11 seconds here. Surely, as we roll into the 6th minute of added time. I mean, Jesus. Are we doing an amount of time for every sub that United made? But I mean, Girona's trying to just pass this bad boy out. I don't think we're going to get any more poking and prodding from them. They're just playing it at the back between the keeper and the defenders. That's all really they're doing. As we go over 90 minutes played, some very good minutes for some youth players. Now they're showing the ref being like, when is he going to blow? As a ball almost fell to the United player, it falls back to Gazaniga, and I've got to admit, that is full time. United are 2-0 losers. 2-0 losers. And it is, let me update this and put the banner back up, and we will welcome back in Darren Smith here in a minute. Full time, as you can see, I'll put that banner up there. Full time. And yeah, United lose another one, albeit who cares? It's just a preseason friendly. So yeah, it finishes 2-0. Boring, drab, daft game. Not really anything in it. Nothing really doing from United. There was a couple opportunities where they could have had some goals. Nothing came of it. Girona took 2, one in extra time and one earlier in the second half. It was an interesting game. We go again at the weekend against Derby County, or as they say over here in America, Derby County. And then we have Stuttgart a week from Saturday. So, I mean, all in all, you don't draw too many conclusions from this. We just kind of go on to Derby at the weekend. And I think we'll have more of a stronger side as we get further into this, our preseason. And let's bring back Darren. Sir, what'd you make of the second half? 2 goals from Girona. United threw on a bunch of kids with 15 minutes left and finishes 2-0. Your thoughts?
I think it was a struggle for United that second half. I think Girona, I think I said in the first half that they would have been disappointed with the way they passed it around in the final third in the first half, but I think they got it a bit more right in the second half, and they sort of pushed United back. And the United started to look quite leggy, didn't they, after an hour or so? And actually, United came back into it more with the young kids because they had fresh legs to sort of close down the ball, really. But I think Girona deserved to win the second half, but I think United got out of it what they wanted. They had no injuries. It was effectively a 75-minute game for their first teamers. And they've probably realised just how hard it will be in the Premier League at times when we're playing teams that are very good on the ball and don't give the possession away easily.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I think we're gonna find it hard at times to complete the. I mean, well, we did have a lot of youth that couldn't pass to save their life or complete a pass to save their lives, and you could clearly see that the pressure did get to United at some point. So it's a learning curve that we're going to have to adapt to in this league. We got 38 free hits. Let's take them all on as cup finals. What's the worst we can do? Lose all 38 of them? That ain't going to happen. Odds are we're going to win a fair few or a decent few of those,
Yeah, I wouldn't get too hung up on it. I don't think this is a game yet that reflects what the season's going to be like. To be fair, like I said, Girona are a technically very good side. They outpass even top Spanish teams. It'll have all been a bit new to United. I think if this had been a competitive game, a sort of a European game or whatever, United would have probably played a little bit more long ball and actually they would have had success from set plays and corners. You could see that was probably United's best chance. The ball kept coming back because, again, although Girona changed their two centre halves at half time, again they were a really experienced pair. And if the ball's just not sticking up front and it keeps coming back, it really is hard to get any headway, really. I think if you'd have had Illy and McBurney up front today, I think you'd have had a very different story. The United would have had a bit more share of the ball and they wouldn't have been chasing it as much.
Yeah, for sure. If, like I said towards the end of it, I said if we would have had our stronger team, this would have been a totally different result. This wouldn't have been a 2-0. We probably wouldn't have had as much as the ball, or we probably would have had a little bit more of the ball, but we would have taken our chances and we would have had more creative amounts and more spells on the ball where we probably would have had a few more chances. But I mean, Max Lowe getting nutmegged and then wasn't good on him. Wasn't good on his part.
No, I mean it's funny. The two goal scorers for Girona actually were two new signings this summer for them. The Savio's on a loan from the City group, and Pablo Torres is on loan from Barcelona. And Savio looked a real handful in that first half, but unfortunately for Girona, I don't think there are many left wing backs that will be as poor as Max Lowe is, to be fair.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. They were probably licking their chops when they saw that, and the first time they beat him, like, oh man, this is good. This is good. But
it's difficult though, isn't it? Because to be fair to Max, he had Freckleton inside of him, and the difference when you've got someone experienced like Jack Robinson, they would have probably handled Savio as a pair and probably got in front of him and stopped him getting the ball. And again, you've got Max as an experienced wing back wanting to get forward, but inside him he's got a very inexperienced centre back. So it's about though that usually you're not as exposed as he was in that second half.
Yeah, for sure. And it's just one of those things. It's just with such a changing squad, and there's no link up and no, familiarity. It's you really don't know if you haven't played a lot with that player. You really don't know what to expect, and where his shortcomings are, and what to expect out of him. So then that leaves, a little bit of, how do I say, ineptitude or little gaps in play, and it opens it up for some attacking threat, and Max Lowe getting exposed with a nutmeg that's probably going to be on the internet. It's probably already on Twitter saying sell Max Lowe for a nickel and we'll send him somewhere else. He's terrible. He can't play that position, and we'll go on with it.
Yeah, but I think United, it's a funny one, really. I don't know whether United would have this idea of playing on the Tuesday night and then the Wednesday lunchtime and splitting the first team squad and then having a lot of youngsters coming on as a sub. I'm not 100% certain that's actually the best way to go. It's not typical. You'd have thought the best way would have been to play your normal formation and then just swap first teamers at half time or something like, or maybe just give a team 60 minutes and the other first teamers 30 minutes. It feels like we've not really used this opportunity to move ourselves forward tactically. We've literally just said, here, go out there and get 60 or 75 minutes in your legs and not much else.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Well, Mr. Smith, I am glad you came on and joined me for halftime, pre-match, and post-match analysis. If anybody watching doesn't follow you, where can the people follow you on the interwebs?
I'm on Twitter as at Darren Smith Twiff. With the Twiff actually stands for the week in football. Someone once said to me, "Why do you call yourself Darren Smith Twit?" It is actually Twiff. By all means, get on there and follow if you so wish. And if you want to do better things in your life than listen to my ramblings, then I don't blame you either.
The man does have a lot of insight knowledge on United, and I follow him and I keep a close eye on what he posts on his Twitter page. And again, Darren, thanks for coming on. And guys, if you haven't done so, follow, subscribe to the Sheff United Way. Follow me on Twitter at cjarvis_13. Listen to our pod, Red Half of Sheffield. Me and Noah, we released one. We're going to start releasing one every week now. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube channel, wherever you get all your podcasts from, you can listen to it. And I believe I'm not going to be able to make it for the Derby County friendly we have on Saturday, but I will be back for the Stuttgart one. Until next time, guys, up the blade.